Yes, good morning. This is Kalkbaylocal. Well, this is a typical morning for me, coming from one of the oldest fishing families here in Kalkbay. I'm on Kalkbay Harbour and I'm waiting for the skipper so that we are going to go out today trying to catch a bit of fish. Very few people on the harbour at this time. Well, I'm just going to walk about with this camera for you so that you can have the view I'm having. Yes, here we have seals just laying in the morning on the harbour. A couple of birds here. And let's look at the sea condition. I know the water looks fishable. I'm going down here and there's some of the boats that you see. These are the crayfish boats. Two of them, the Aswan and the Taj Mahal. Whoops, that's messed up. Morning. So that was a bit of a shocker. Yeah, Zuiderster. And a couple of the other big boats here. And over there in the distance is my little boat. I'll show it to you a bit later. Well, traditionally back in the days, my grandfather and them, they left at about 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I suppose these days, because the engines are faster, we can leave a bit later. So here we have Suleiman, and yeah, this is probably the biggest boat here in our harbour. You know, I hope, guys, if I'm decide to post this, it's just something I'm going to try. You know, just if you enjoy it, push a like, do what they do with this YouTube business. But I'm going to just give you clips. I'm not promising that you're going to be getting it constantly. I'm just going to stick it out there, as in if my mood allows me. I find it very enjoyable just sort of watching through certain things. And I'm going to try and give, especially if you're a Kalkbaylocal. If you're a Kalkbaylocal and you grew up here and you've got family here, you just, it's a must. It's almost like a story that has to be told. And those guys that stayed here and still come here, they consider themselves locals. And that's it. I'm a local myself, and I grew up with this, this. And as I've placed myself on self-retirement at the age of 50 now, I should have listened to my father. You know, this is what he wanted. He wanted a simple life. Break away from the hustle and bustle of thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands, and you know where this is going to. You know, it's about somebody giving you advice and saying to you when you're staying here, you know, why didn't you just go out catch fish? And you then reply and say, and then what? He says, then you sell it. Catch a lot, and you sell a lot. And then what? And then you buy another boat, you buy bigger boats, and you catch more. And then what? And then you become a multi-millionaire, travel the world, do this, do that. And then what? And then you sell all of that business just to come and retire at a little spot at the sea. I didn't listen. I could have done this simple life that I'm going to show you about. And now I am hopefully going to be obtaining some fresh fish for me. You know, we are going to have to resort to this. So now we're in a stage of, I don't even want to mention it, Corona. So if you guys aren't prepping, I'm going to show you that I've at least got a bit of skills. And that is I'll be providing some fish for the day. Hopefully, guys, hopefully. Alright. So I'm just going to go through here with and show you what I am seeing. Chat to you a bit later. Well, we're leaving at about 7, that's the call. So I need to slowly prepare myself. Show you a bit of footage later with my kit on. Alright, sorry, I haven't introduced myself. I haven't showed the camera. Let's do that. Alright, guys. I know. This is how I'm looking before. I've got to get dressed to get onto the boat. Yes. I suppose the footage won't be too much about myself. So, hi there, YouTubers. Let's go back to the scenery. I suppose this is a best time or a better time than any to be taking all my fish and stocking it up in my freezer. I normally used to dish out the fish that I took home or that I decided I was going to keep. But it might be different. I'll have to maybe stock up just in case we cannot move because of this coronavirus. I think everything, I need to be thinking like that. Skip up there. Guys are preparing themselves to leave. Wait, wat jy sê?
Ek kan niks sê so dat ek prokureer nie.
So, waar is jou prokureur?
Ek wag nog voor.
Wag jy nog vir die prokureur? Nee, my prokureur is sat, man.
Ja, altyd vir hy.
Nee, ek wil ook nie aan no witnesses.
Daar is nog nie.
Alright, my bro, laat ek my gade recht kry. Yeah, so there we have Whitey as one of the local characters here. And he's also Kalkbaylocal. is stuck to, glued to this place. So yes, I'll be just simply allowing you to view the shots, and I'll make my way over to Kalkbay, and that is part of why I am going to be trying to be making something for YouTube, is because I would like to keep my heritage on track. And for the last 2 years, I've been unable to attend to my little vessel called the Kalkbay, and simply because I've just run out of a bit of funds. So part of this is going to be about raising the funds, hopefully, to see me back with Kalkbay and carrying forth the tradition. You know, for my family alone, we are a huge family. You know, there's very little of us that remains in the industry, and there's so much to be told from my family side into the growth and contribution of this little village that I find so dear to my heart. So we have Peter Swats there, just in the distance, just leaving the harbour. I think he's going to be going out for a bit of shark in the Tweekop. See who's all standing. So we're on our way to Kalkbay, and I used to have my hand firmly on her, but in the last 2 years I've not really been able to. Assalamu alaikum Fani. Ons gaan mos 'n bietjie sien toe man. Ek wag vir die help. Yeah, so that we have Irfan, another Kalkbaylocal, obviously. Lovely job he's got. He works for the harbour authorities. So now we have some of the smaller boat, and this is the poor little boat that my father and uncle fished on. It was my uncle's boat, the Gosling. And you know, this is actually sad. I think about it. This is the last of, or would have been the last if we're going to be able to save the boat. The little boats that Hussein's owned in the harbour. From owning from boats that looks like the ones on the far side. I'll see if I can zoom in. Like that, called the White Rose and the Primrose. My father and my uncle decided to make it easy for them, and they had this little boat. Believe it or not, that this little boat was most probably one of the most successful little boats around here. The guy that is subsequently in the last couple of months bought it is planning to restore it and make it into a nice little boat. I'm glad. And when I look at the rear and that seat around the tiller, that's where my father used to sit. May rest in peace. Today we'll be fishing on Little Pearl, and I'll show you some of the clips later. So this is the boat that we'll be fishing on, and skippered by Ralph. And here we get to Lexi, and there we get to Kalkbay. So this is the last of the Hussein-owned boats in Kalkbay. And Hussein, by the way, is the surname of the family. Some are spelled Hussein with a Z and with an S. So here we have Kalkbay. And Kalkbay has been standing like this for the last 2 years, but got a bit of mechanical problems. And I would dearly want to get Kalkbay back up and fishing again. It's a glass fiber boat, which is very reliable little boat. Yes, guys, so I'll see you later, and I hope the introduction has got you asking for more footage, and I'll come back to you.